God is calling your name right now. He says, you are seconds away from the biggest breakthrough of your life. Do not scroll. Open this now. My beloved child, the moment you opened this message, the atmosphere around you shifted. Something unseen, something ancient, something fiercely protective stepped closer to you. Archangel Michael has been whispering your name into the realm of light, and now the echo of that call has reached your spirit. You are not here by accident. You are here because heaven is moving toward you with unusual speed. There is a divine urgency on your life right now. Heaven is trying to break through the noise, the fear, the doubt, the confusion, because you are standing seconds away from a life-changing moment. Archangel Michael is standing at your doorway in the spirit, sword drawn, not in warning, but in deliverance. He is clearing the path that darkness tried to blot. Something that has been held back, something heaven has been preparing for you, is pressing against the veil, ready to be released. Listen carefully, your name has been spoken in the throne room. Your season has been marked, and the realm of angels has been activated around you. This is why you've been feeling the internal shaking, the restlessness, the strange pull in your spirit. It's not anxiety. It's awakening. Heaven aligns you like this only when something massive is about to break. Archangel Michael shows me a vision, a door glowing with gold on the edges, a door that has remained closed for far too long. You've knocked, prayed, cried, waited, pushed, hoped, and then waited again. But heaven is telling you now, this door is opening not by your strength, but by divine command. And that breakthrough, it is closer than your next breath. But hear this with the seriousness of a prophetic warning. When heaven is about to deliver a blessing this big, distractions rise. Noise rises. Temptation rises. Confusion rises. The enemy tries to twist your focus so you miss the moment meant to elevate your destiny. And right now, that distraction might be as simple as scrolling away from the very message heaven placed in front of you. Archangel Michael steps forward with authority, saying, do not look away from what God is placing before you. What you think is small is actually the doorway to everything you've been praying for. My child, can you sense it? There is a shift in the air around you, a stirring like wind before a mighty storm. The things that tried to break you are losing their grip. The weight that sat on your chest for months is beginning to lift. The fog around your path is thinning, and the voice of God is becoming clearer, louder, more personal. He is calling your name, not someone else's, not a general call, not a distant whisper. Your name, your spirit, your breakthrough, your moment. There is something you must know. Your life is entering a prophetic turning point. Certain patterns will break. Certain cycles will end. Certain people will fall away. Certain opportunities will appear suddenly. And certain blessings, the ones you thought were too late, are about to arrive right on time, carrying the authority of heaven with them. Archangel Michael stands beside you, guarding this moment fiercely. He is cutting away spiritual interference, clearing the fog, pushing back every shadow that's been clinging to your progress. He's revealing that the delay was never denial. It was preparation. Heaven was aligning timing, aligning people, aligning resources, aligning your spirits so that the weight of what's coming doesn't crush you, but elevates you. You are seconds away from something heaven has been building behind the scenes. But before this breakthrough reaches you, the final spiritual lock has to open, and that lock is your awareness. That's why God pulled you here right now. That's why your spirit stirred the moment you read the title. God needed your attention long enough to deliver this message of alignment. Do not underestimate this moment. The attack you survived was not random. The loneliness you endured was not meaningless. The battles you fought were not wasted. They were training, sharpening, preparing you to walk into destiny without fear. Archangel Michael says, the breakthrough they are stepping into requires strength. Now they have it. Something powerful is approaching your life quickly. An answered prayer, a release of clarity, a sudden shift in finances, a restoration of relationships, a new path opening where you thought there was no path left. The biggest breakthrough of your life is not coming one day. It's forming now. It's rising now. It's snaring you now. Hold your faith steady. Your spirit is about to witness something unbelievable. And before this moment ends, keep your heart open, because the next revelation that is coming will expose the final barrier standing between you and your breakthrough. You will not want to miss it. Trust me, the next unfolding will go deeper than you expect and brighter than you imagine. Before you move, seal this moment with your spirit. Type "I walk into my breakthrough" in the comments if this message is stirring something inside you. Blessing code 441 is now activated over your life. Chosen soul, breathe for a moment and steady your heart, because what is about to be spoken over you carries weight in the spirit realm. When God calls your name the way He is calling it now, the entire atmosphere of your life begins to tremble. You may not see the shaking around you, but you have felt it deep inside. The sudden changes, the strange restlessness, the quiet pressure in your chest that tells you something is shifting, even when nothing looks different on the outside. This is the evidence that heaven has begun rearranging things on your behalf. Archangel Michael is not only standing near you, he is already moving ahead of you, clearing spiritual debris that has been blocking your path for far too long. He has been waiting for the moment when your spirit would be awake enough to receive instruction, and now that moment has come. There is something God needs you to understand with absolute clarity. Your delay is breaking. The heaviness that sat on you like a silent weight, the invisible resistance that made even the smallest steps feel impossible, is losing its power. You have been walking through a battlefield that no one could see, carrying wounds that no one understood, surviving storms that would have crushed someone with less strength. And yet, even in the darkest nights, something inside you kept whispering that this was not the end. That whisper was not hope. That whisper was heaven. God was keeping your spirit alive for a moment such as this. Archangel Michael revealed a vision that is unfolding even now. In the realm of the spirit, there is a large stone that represents everything that has hindered your progress. It is heavy, immovable, ancient in its intent to block you. For years, this stone has sat on the path of your destiny, convincing you that the way forward was impossible. But as your name was spoken in the throne room, the ground beneath that stone began to tremble. A crack formed. Light seeped through. And with one command from heaven, the stone began to shift. This is what you have been sensing. The moment the impossible starts to loosen, you are stepping into a divine rearrangement. Situations you thought were final are about to turn. People who walked away may suddenly resurface, not to reclaim the old, but to apologize for what they didn't see in you. Opportunities that seemed gone forever may come back with new life. Doors you thought were sealed may swing open with force. But listen closely, because there is a warning hidden inside the promise. Whenever God prepares to lift you, the enemy tries to distract you. Sometimes the distraction looks harmless. Sometimes it looks familiar. Sometimes it looks like comfort. But anything that pulls you away from your awakening is an assignment to delay the very breakthrough heaven is releasing. This is why your spirit has been more alert lately. You have felt the urge to step back from certain things, certain conversations, certain environments, certain people. It is not random. It is not mood. It is spiritual precision. God is pruning the noise around you so you can hear him clearly. And Archangel Michael, standing guard, is separating you from everything that is not aligned with the destiny marked on your name. He does not operate casually. He does not move without purpose. If he has taken position around you, it means what is coming next is too valuable for heaven to leave unprotected. There is a deeper truth unfolding right now. You have been walking with questions in your heart. Questions like why certain things had to fall apart, why you had to lose so much, why people you trusted shifted without warning, why your prayers seemed unanswered for so long. But hear this, heaven was not ignoring you. Heaven was preparing you. If God had given you what you asked for when you first prayed for it, you would not have had the spiritual structure to hold it. You would have stepped into breakthroughs without the wisdom to carry them. You would have received blessings without the discernment to protect them. What looked like silence from God was actually strategy. Now that strategy is completing its final phase. Archangel Michael says this clearly. Their breakthrough requires maturity. Their blessing requires clarity. Their elevation requires a sharpened spirit. And now heaven sees that in you. You have been tested. You have been refined. You have been stretched. You have been broken and rebuilt piece by piece. And because of that, heaven can now trust you with the next level of your destiny. But before this breakthrough manifests in the physical, God needs one thing from you: awareness. Awareness of who you are becoming. Awareness of what you are leaving behind. Awareness of the new alignment forming around your life. This is not the time to shrink back into old patterns. This is not the time to revisit old wounds. This is not the time to reopen doors God has shut. You are being lifted into a new version of yourself, and the spiritual atmosphere around you is adjusting to match that elevation. Listen carefully, because this revelation is significant. Your next breakthrough is not simply a blessing. It is a turning point. It is something that will ripple through every area of your life. It will shift relationships. It will alter your steps. It will reveal your purpose with new clarity. It will make sense of the confusion you walked through. And it will expose why the enemy fought you so intensely. You were not being attacked because you were weak. You were being attacked because of what you carry. You are closer than you think, and heaven is preparing to show you what has been hidden behind the veil. Stay present, because the next unveiling will shake you in the best way. Before this moment ends, seal this revelation. Type "I align with heaven's timing" in the comments if this message speaks to your spirit. Blessing code 558 is now active upon your life. Beloved heart, steady yourself once more, because the realm of the Spirit is moving even closer, and what I am about to reveal carries the weight of God's urgency. When heaven begins to align breakthroughs of this magnitude, the atmosphere around your life becomes charged with divine tension. You may have felt it already, the sense that something unseen is pressing in, something waiting for the right moment to strike your life with goodness. And at this very hour, Archangel Michael stands positioned beside you, sword illuminated, guarding a moment that heaven has been preparing for longer than you realize. His presence is not symbolic. It is a confirmation that what you are stepping into requires protection, precision, and clarity. God is calling your name with an intensity that cannot be misunderstood. Not a whisper, not a suggestion, a call, a divine summons. The kind of call that interrupts your routine, disrupts your thoughts, breaks through your numbness, and brings you face to face with purpose. When God calls you like this, it means He is shifting you into divine timing. Not earthly timing. Not convenient timing. Heaven's timing. And heaven's timing is never late, never early, never accidental. It arrives the moment your spirit is ready to carry the weight of the next blessing. You have reached that moment. Archangel Michael shows me something powerful. He reveals a spiritual map, a blueprint of your life's journey, marked with points of impact. Moments where God intervened, moments where the enemy attacked, moments where you felt lost, and moments where your spirit rose despite everything. He points to a new mark on the map, glowing brighter than the others. This is the breakthrough forming now. This is the moment heaven has been leading you toward. And what's extraordinary is that this breakthrough is not isolated. It is connected to every battle you have fought, every tear you cried, every prayer you whispered when you felt like giving up. This breakthrough is not just a blessing. It is a restoration of everything that tried to break you. But hear this very carefully, because this is where the spiritual danger lies. When you are seconds away from a destiny-shifting moment, your spiritual enemies panic. They cannot stop what God has ordained, but they can attempt to distract you long enough for you to walk away from your appointed moment. Distraction is the enemy's final strategy. Confusion is the enemy's final weapon. Weariness is the enemy's final attempt to keep you from receiving what is already written with your name on it. This is why God pulled you here today. This is why your spirit responded when you saw the title. This is why you felt the tug, that pull, that urgency. Heaven needed your attention before the window opened, because this moment will require awareness. And awareness becomes your spiritual shield. Archangel Michael says they must stay focused for what God is releasing. Their spirit must remain awake. Their faith must remain active. Do you feel the gravity of his words? When Michael speaks, he speaks on assignment. His message signals that the breakthrough is close enough to touch. And yet, heaven warns you so you do not lose it in a moment of distraction. You must understand what is shifting even now. Cycles are breaking. Patterns are collapsing. Spiritual blockages are dissolving. And the chains that held you emotionally, spiritually, and mentally for years are losing their authority over you. God is not simply opening a door. He is releasing a new level of favor that will place you in environments you once felt unqualified for. You will step into places that once felt unreachable. You will receive clarity on things that once felt confusing. You will see opportunities form in ways that make you realize heaven was always working behind the scenes. But as this breakthrough approaches, you will notice unusual spiritual sensitivity. Old emotions trying to rise again. Old memories resurfacing. Old fears whispering. This does not mean you are going backward. It means your spirit is being prepared for elevation. Heaven is flushing out the remnants of what can no longer go with you. You cannot carry old wounds into new seasons. You cannot bring past pain into future blessings. God is cleansing your spirit so you can hold the next dimension of what He is releasing. You may wonder why the pressure has been so intense lately. Why the emotional weight felt heavier than usual. Why battle after battle seemed to come unexpectedly. The reason is simple. The closer you get to a breakthrough, the darker the resistance becomes. But hear this truth loudly. The resistance you feel is the sign that the blessing is moments away. The battle intensifies right before the victory manifests. And Archangel Michael is standing guard to ensure that you reach that moment without interference. This is a divine turning point, not only for your circumstances, not only for your finances, not only for your relationships. This is a turning point for your purpose. You are stepping into alignment with the version of yourself that heaven always saw. And that version of you is powerful, clear-minded, spiritually sharp, and ready to carry the weight of your calling. As this revelation settles, take a moment to ground your heart. You are being prepared for something extraordinary. Stay here. Stay present. The next layer that will be revealed is deeper, sharper, and directly connected to your breakthrough. Before I release the blessing ritual, I want you to engage with this message so YouTube spreads it to every soul who needs this word. Like this video, comment your agreement, share it, hype it, and subscribe so you do not miss what heaven reveals next. Seal this moment with your spirit. Type "I step into my divine turning point" in the comments. Blessing code 667 is now released over your life. When God calls your name the way He is calling it right now, He is not only awakening your destiny, but also inviting you to help awaken others. As this message prepares to reach thousands more who are standing one breath away from their breakthrough, your seed becomes a torch that carries light into their darkness. Heaven speaks of sowing and reaping not as poetry, but as spiritual law, and the oil that flows through this mission pours onto every giver with divine precision. I hear the Spirit say, "I will multiply what they release, for my word returning to the earth depends on their obedience." And with this, I invite you directly, if this message touched your spirit, stand with us in spreading God's voice through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description. This is not a donation. This is a prophetic act, a moment of holy alignment. I bless every giver with the abundance of open heavens, overflowing favor, and supernatural acceleration. Step into this moment and release your support now. Beloved one, come closer in your spirit, because the realm of heaven is drawing near with a level of clarity and intensity that only manifests when a person is being shifted into their appointed season. There is a reason your heart has felt unsettled, why your emotions have been stirred in unfamiliar ways, why certain thoughts have lingered in your mind as if they were not entirely your own. This is what happens when God begins to pull you out of one spiritual atmosphere and place you into another. You are transitioning. You are being lifted. You are being repositioned by the hand of the Almighty, and Archangel Michael stands beside you as the chief guardian of this shift. You must understand something essential. The journey you have been walking was never random. Every disappointment, every closed door, every unexpected ending, every battle you faced alone, every moment you questioned your worth was shaping the framework of the destiny you are stepping into right now. You were not being punished. You were being refined. There were blessings heaven wanted to give you, but you were not yet the person who could carry them. There were opportunities heaven planned for you, but you needed spiritual depth to walk in them. God was not saying no. He was saying, wait until you grow into the version of yourself that can steward this blessing. Now, heaven sees that growth in you. Heaven sees the strength that came from your brokenness. Heaven sees the wisdom that came from your pain. Heaven sees the resilience that came from every setback. And it is because of this spiritual maturity that the biggest breakthrough of your life is approaching with divine speed. But before that breakthrough can fully manifest, heaven needs to speak to the deepest part of your spirit. Archangel Michael reveals a powerful truth. You have been in a spiritual battle for identity. Not identity in the earthly sense, but identity in the heavenly sense. The enemy feared who you were becoming, so he attacked your confidence. He attacked your voice. He attacked your peace. He attacked your relationships. He attacked your clarity. He attacked your sense of direction. Because if he could confuse who you were, he could delay what you were meant to carry. But despite the warfare, you did not collapse. You rose. Maybe quietly, maybe slowly, maybe painfully, but you rose. And that rising did not go unnoticed. Heaven watched. Heaven recorded. Heaven responded. This is why the atmosphere around your life feels different now. You are stepping into your identity as someone chosen, someone marked, someone anointed for a divine purpose. And when a chosen soul begins to awaken, the spiritual world reacts with intensity. God is calling your name, not as a reminder that you exist, but as a declaration of who you are becoming. He is calling you so you recognize the authority you carry. He is calling you so you understand that the battles you survived were a shaping process. He is calling you because the next chapter of your life requires boldness, clarity, and spiritual awareness. Listen to this revelation carefully. Heaven is positioning you not simply for personal breakthrough, but for divine assignment. What is coming will not only elevate your life, but also elevate the lives connected to you. Your blessing will create alignment for others. Your breakthrough will open doors for those who follow after you. Your clarity will bring healing to people who felt lost. God is not just lifting you up. He is preparing you to become a vessel of influence in ways you have not yet imagined. But with influence comes responsibility. With elevation comes spiritual exposure. And with calling comes resistance. This is why Archangel Michael stands by your side. He is making sure that as you rise, nothing unclean attaches itself to your purpose. He is ensuring that no spiritual interference distorts what God is revealing. He is guarding you from unseen attacks that often attempt to latch onto those stepping into destiny. He is clearing the path so that when your breakthrough arrives, you will walk into it with authority and confidence. Now hear this with your full attention, because it is one of the most important truths heaven is releasing to you in this moment. The spiritual pressure you have been experiencing lately is not a sign of defeat. It is the sign of final resistance before breakthrough. When heaven is about to shift your life dramatically, the atmosphere becomes thick. You may feel tired for no reason, emotional for no reason, intuitive in ways that surprise you, disconnected from old habits, drawn toward new habits. These sensations are the evidence that your spirit is being elevated to match the blessing approaching your life. Do not run from this inner transformation. Embrace it. You are shedding old versions of yourself that can no longer exist in the next chapter. You are releasing old doubts, old insecurities, old limitations, old fears. You are stepping into a version of yourself that heaven recognizes, even if you have not fully recognized it yet. Archangel Michael whispers, their future requires their full awakening. That awakening is happening now. That awakening is the reason you are here. The awakening is the reason heaven interrupted your day with a message that carries this much weight. And beloved, be attentive to this. Heaven has not even revealed the greatest part yet. The next unfolding will not only confirm your breakthrough, but expose the spiritual reason behind the delays you faced. You will see clearly what was holding you back and why it had to break before your blessing arrived. Hold steady. What comes next will shake you in a powerful, liberating way. Before we move forward, seal this moment with your spirit's agreement. Type "I rise into my true identity" in the comments. Blessing code 339 is now activated over your life. Beloved soul, take a deep breath and prepare yourself, because what heaven is about to reveal in this moment carries a level of clarity that will begin to untangle the knots inside your spirit. You have been walking with questions that weighed heavily on your heart, questions about why certain things took so long, why certain people shifted so suddenly, why certain doors closed without warning, and why your spirit felt pressed from every direction in recent seasons. These questions have lingered in the quiet spaces of your mind, creating a tension between what you believe and what you feel. Today, heaven speaks directly into that tension and Archangel Michael stands beside you to confirm every word that is about to unfold. The delays you faced were not punishments. They were protections. Heaven was shielding you from paths that would have drained you, connections that would have misused you, opportunities that were not yet aligned, and blessings that would have arrived before you were ready to carry them. Timing is not simply a schedule in the kingdom of God. Timing is protection. Timing is formation. Timing is divine architecture. You were not waiting for something to happen. Something was being built around you. Something was being shaped inside you. And the weight of that preparation was necessary for the breakthrough that is rushing toward your life, even now. Archangel Michael reveals a scene so vivid it demands your attention. He shows a structure in the realm of the spirit, a kind of spiritual foundation with pillars representing trust, discipline, discernment, humility, and spiritual clarity. These pillars were not strong when you first prayed for elevation. They were fragile, unstable, inconsistent. But every battle you walked through strengthened one of those pillars. Every disappointment reinforced another. Every season of confusion demanded you choose faith, even when faith felt impossible. Every heartbreak strengthened your discernment. Every setback built your resilience. Without realizing it, you were becoming someone unshakable. And it is only when a person becomes unshakable that heaven releases unshakable blessings. You may not have known it, but you were in a spiritual construction phase. Heaven was building you. Heaven was reinforcing you. Heaven was shaping your capacity. And now, because the foundation is strong, God is releasing the next chapter of your destiny without hesitation. The breakthrough forming for you is not random. It is intentional. It is structured. It is timed. And it is sealed with divine authority. But hear this very carefully. Even though the breakthrough is certain, heaven wants you to understand the spiritual dynamics that surrounded your journey. You have been under a level of warfare that was not normal. This was not ordinary stress. This was not everyday pressure. This was targeted interference sent to drain your energy, scatter your focus, weaken your faith, and lead you into self-doubt. The enemy knew what was coming before you did, and that is why the attacks increased as your breakthrough came closer. Archangel Michael says, their spirit was under surveillance by the enemy because of what they carry. The enemy does not attack what is empty. He attacks what is chosen. He attacks what is rising. He attacks what is anointed. And you, beloved, carry the imprint of someone heaven is preparing for significant spiritual impact. You have a purpose that stretches far beyond your present circumstances. And the pressure you felt in recent months was not a punishment. It was confirmation that your future carries weight. But the most powerful truth Michael reveals is this: the warfare has broken. The spiritual interference has crumbled. The forces that once stood against you have lost their access. Something shifted in the spiritual realm the moment God called your name with divine urgency. Something broke when heaven declared that your time had come. Something ended when you refused to collapse under pressure. And because of that, you are now standing in the space between the breaking and the blessing. This space is sacred. This space is sensitive. This space is transitional. You are stepping out of one version of your life and into another. And heaven wants you to understand that the old chapter cannot follow you into the new. The guilt cannot follow you. The insecurity cannot follow you. The fear cannot follow you. The overthinking cannot follow you. The emotional patterns that kept you stuck cannot follow you. God is cleansing you from the residue of the past, not to shame you, but to free you. There is a stirring happening inside you that you cannot ignore. You feel the pull towards something greater, even if you cannot fully articulate it yet. You feel the shift in your spirit, even if you cannot explain it to anyone else. You feel the sense of destiny rising from within you, like a quiet flame growing stronger every day. This is your spiritual awakening. This is your identity aligning with heaven. This is your calling beginning to take shape. And as this transformation unfolds, Archangel Michael stands firmly at your side, ensuring that nothing interrupts what heaven is producing within you. He has been assigned to guard this stage of your journey with precision. He has been shielding you from unseen interference, from hidden traps, from spiritual fatigue, and from emotional entanglements that would have delayed your breakthrough. He is ensuring that when the blessing arrives, you enter it clean, clear, and fully awakened. Beloved, stay close in your spirit. The next revelation will expose the exact spiritual barrier that once stood between you and your breakthrough. Once you understand it, you will never fall into that pattern again. What God is about to reveal will free you in ways you have long prayed for. Before we continue, seal this moment with your agreement. Type "I receive this" unlocking in the comments. Blessing code 944 is now released over your life. Beloved spirit, come into stillness for a moment, because what heaven is about to uncover in this chapter carries a depth that will reach into places of your heart you have not touched in a long time. You have felt drawn to stay with this message because your spirit knows something is being prepared for you, something you have waited years to understand. Today, that understanding begins to unfold. And as always, Archangel Michael stands beside you, ready to illuminate the truth with the sharpness of divine clarity. There is a spiritual barrier that has followed you for years, one that you may not have been fully aware of, yet its effects shaped many parts of your life. This barrier did not come from weakness, failure, or lack of faith. It came from unresolved moments in your past where your spirit was wounded without receiving the healing it needed. Heaven is showing me that some of the patterns you struggled with were not because you did something wrong, but because something was done to you that was never fully acknowledged. Silent wounds, hidden disappointments, buried fears, emotional fractures you learned to survive, but never learned to release. This spiritual barrier created a cycle where blessings came close, but never settled. A cycle where opportunities appeared, but slipped through your fingers. A cycle where relationships started beautifully, but ended abruptly. A cycle where you tried your best and still felt unseen. A cycle where progress felt temporary and peace felt unstable. You blamed yourself for these patterns, thinking something was wrong with you, when in reality, something was wrong with the spiritual barrier that had been sitting in your atmosphere for years. Archangel Michael steps forward with a revelation that carries immense power. The barrier has been identified, and now it must be broken. This barrier formed at a moment when your heart was vulnerable. Heaven shows me a specific time in your past when you felt abandoned, betrayed, or overlooked. You may not think about it often, but the emotional imprint remained in your spirit. That imprint created a spiritual vibration that attracted similar situations over and over. This is why you felt stuck. This is why you kept repeating emotional cycles. This is why the same types of people, challenges, and disappointments resurfaced in different forms. But hear this clearly. You have entered a season where heaven can no longer allow that barrier to remain. The breakthrough coming toward you is too big, too sacred, too purposeful to be filtered through old wounds. This elevation requires a healed spirit, a free spirit, a strengthened spirit. The weight of what God is giving you demands emotional stability and spiritual confidence. And because you are ready, heaven is removing the final obstruction. This is why God called your name with urgency. This is why He pulled your attention. This is why you felt a sudden shift inside you when you first opened this message. Heaven needed you aware, awake, and present so that this spiritual operation could begin. You are not just receiving a prophetic word. You are undergoing a spiritual realignment. Archangel Michael reveals that the barrier operated like a fog, clouding your perception and weakening your ability to see yourself clearly. It made you underestimate your worth. It made you question your intuition. It made you second-guess your decisions. It made you believe you were not ready for what heaven had been preparing for you. But none of those things were true. They were distortions. They were shadows. They were remnants of an old emotional imprint that no longer holds authority over your destiny. The enemy tried to use that imprint as a legal right to interfere with your progress. He attempted to anchor you to your past through fear, doubt, and emotional paralysis. But heaven has issued a decree over you. The decree says the cycle is finished. The decree says the barrier is breaking. The decree says your spirit is being liberated from the inside out. And when heaven releases such a decree, nothing in the spiritual or physical realm can stand against it. You may begin to notice subtle changes within yourself. You may feel lighter, more aware, more emotionally balanced. You may feel clarity rising where confusion once lived. You may feel strength where weakness once resided. This is the evidence that the barrier is crumbling. You will no longer be drawn to people who drain you. You will no longer be attracted to environments that stunt your growth. You will no longer tolerate what once wounded you. Your spirit is shifting, and your life will shift with it. Archangel Michael is deeply involved in this process. He is cutting away spiritual cords connected to old pain. He is uprooting emotional attachments that kept you stuck. He is cleansing the atmosphere around your life so that the breakthrough arriving for you can land on good soil. He is ensuring that nothing toxic from your past contaminates the blessings of your future. Beloved, there is something powerful rising inside you. You may feel it like warmth in your chest, or a quiet fire behind your thoughts, or a sense of awakening that feels new and unfamiliar. This is your spirit remembering who you truly are. This is your identity stepping into alignment. This is your purpose beginning to speak louder than your fear. And as you step fully into this awakening, the barrier that once controlled your life loses all its influence. Heaven wants you to know that the next revelation will expose the divine assignment connected to your breakthrough. Not only what is being restored, but why it is being restored and what it will lead you into. The picture is becoming clearer with every chapter. Before we move forward, seal this moment with your spirit's agreement. Type "I break every old barrier" in the comments. Blessing code 525 is now released over your life. Beloved heart, draw in close once more, because what heaven is preparing to reveal in this moment requires your full attention. You have walked through deep revelation already, but now we step into the part where your spirit begins to understand the greater purpose behind everything you endured. Nothing in your life has been wasted. Nothing you walked through was random. Nothing that broke you was meaningless. You were being shaped, prepared, refined, and positioned for a divine assignment that stretches far beyond the boundaries of your current understanding. And as always, Archangel Michael stands beside you with unwavering authority, ready to guide you into the clarity you have been searching for. There is a reason heaven is moving so urgently in your life right now. It is not only because a breakthrough is coming. It is because you are stepping into a calling that carries spiritual influence, a calling that touches not only your life, but the lives of those around you. You have always had a sense that you were different, that you carried something others did not. Even in childhood, there were moments when your spirit knew things your mind could not explain. You felt deeply. You sensed shifts before they happened. You saw truth behind people's masks. You carried intuition that could not be taught. These were not random traits. These were early signs of your spiritual assignment. But as you grew, life pushed against that inner light. Pain attempted to bury it. Trauma tried to silence it. Disappointment tried to numb it. Every betrayal, every heartbreak, every closed door tried to convince you that you were ordinary, forgettable, replaceable. The enemy's strategy was not to destroy you physically, it was to make you forget who you were spiritually. Because if he could make you forget, then you would never step into the influence that was always meant to flow through your life. But heaven never forgot. Archangel Michael never forgot. And your spirit, even in your darkest seasons, refused to forget. Heaven has been stirring something inside you, something that cannot be ignored any longer. You are being pulled toward purpose, toward clarity, toward alignment. The experiences that once wounded you are now becoming the very foundation of your calling. The compassion you carry comes from what you survived. The strength you embody comes from what you endured. The discernment you walk with comes from what you overcame. Every battle was shaping the role you are called to play in the spiritual landscape around you. Archangel Michael reveals something profound. He shows me a bright flame within your spirit, one that has been flickering for years, but is now growing stronger. This flame represents your spiritual authority. It represents your sensitivity to the divine. It represents the anointing placed on your life before you even took your first breath. That flame is the reason you could never fully settle for less. It is the reason your heart always longed for something deeper, something meaningful, something aligned with heaven. Your calling is connected to your breakthrough, and your breakthrough is connected to your purpose. This is why heaven is breaking old barriers. This is why God is calling your name. This is why your spirit has been awakening in stages. Heaven is preparing you not only to receive blessings, but to carry influence that disrupts darkness. Your voice will matter. Your presence will matter. Your faith will matter. There are people whose healing will come through your obedience. There are lives that will shift because of your transformation. There are environments that will change because of the spiritual authority you carry. But listen to this carefully, because heaven speaks this with great urgency. In order for your calling to manifest fully, certain old beliefs must fall away. You must stop seeing yourself through the eyes of your past. You must stop defining yourself by the wounds of former seasons. You must stop measuring your worth through the opinions of people who never understood your spirit. Heaven is redefining your identity, and you must allow that redefinition to settle into the deepest parts of your soul. Archangel Michael whispers, they cannot carry an old identity into a new purpose. These words carry weight. They carry warning. They carry liberation. You are not who you were last year. You are not who you were last month. You are not even who you were when this message first began. Your spirit has been shifting every moment. You have remained connected to this revelation. You are being sculpted by the hand of God, and the version of yourself emerging now is one that will walk in authority, clarity, and spiritual strength. Heaven is revealing something else. You have been prepared to see beyond the surface of life. You will begin to pick up on spiritual signals more clearly. You will notice things others overlook. You will sense shifts before they appear. You will feel when something is misaligned. This is not imagination. This is spiritual perception awakening. and Archangel Michael will guide you in how to use it with wisdom, protection, and purpose. Your assignment is not to fix everyone. Your assignment is not to carry burdens that are not yours. Your assignment is not to heal what refuses to be healed. Your assignment is to walk in the light God places before you and allow that light to reveal truth wherever you go. Some will follow. Some will resist. Some will be inspired. Some will be uncomfortable. That is the nature of spiritual calling. But heaven assures you, you will be protected, you will be guided, and you will be strengthened at every step. Beloved, prepare yourself. The next unfolding will reveal the exact nature of the breakthrough heading your way. Not only what it is, but why it is arriving now and how it will shift your life on every level. What is coming next carries prophetic clarity. Before we continue, seal this moment with your spirit's agreement. Type "I awaken to my calling" in the comments. Blessing code 717 is now released over your life. Beloved soul, come into the stillness of this moment, because heaven is preparing to reveal something that will shift the way you see your future. Everything you have walked through in the earlier chapters of this message has been leading to this point. You are now stepping into the portion of revelation where the breakthrough that has been forming around your life becomes clear in its structure, in its purpose, and in its divine timing. Archangel Michael stands close, closer than before, because what is being revealed now is a blueprint, a design, a heavenly strategy orchestrated specifically for your life. This is the moment heaven has been preparing your spirit to receive. There is a breakthrough rising toward you that does not resemble anything you have experienced before. It is not a small shift or a temporary blessing. It is a life-altering rearrangement. Heaven is not simply giving you something. Heaven is repositioning you. The atmosphere around your destiny is changing. The spiritual landscape surrounding your life is being cleared, healed, and restructured. And this breakthrough has been forming behind the scenes for a long time, waiting for the exact moment heaven said, "Now." Archangel Michael revealed a stunning vision. There's a door in the realm of the spirit that has been sealed for years. This door represents a divine opportunity, a long-awaited answer, a destiny moment that was held back until your spirit reached maturity. Unlike the previous doors that opened and closed quickly, this one is fortified. It carries weight. It carries promise. It carries restoration. When this door opens, the shift it brings will not be temporary, it will be permanent. But heaven wants you to understand something crucial. This breakthrough is arriving now because you are finally aligned with who you were always meant to be. The old version of you could not have held the blessing that is coming. The wounded version of you would have run from it. The doubtful version of you would have sabotaged it. The tired version of you would not have recognized it. But the awakened version of you, the version shaped through wilderness, storms, healing, transformation, and spiritual awakening, is ready. The breakthrough assigned to your life comes in 3 phases, and heaven is beginning to uncover the first. The first phase is internal stability. Heaven is establishing peace inside you that will not be shaken by circumstances, opinions, or unexpected pressure. This peace is the anchor for what is coming next. It is a spiritual grounding that protects you from emotional turbulence. You may feel this already. You may notice that while some things still challenge you, they no longer break you the way they once did. That is the sign that heaven has strengthened your inner foundation. The second phase is external realignment. People who were not aligned with your destiny have begun to drift away. Situations that were draining you have collapsed. Environments that once felt familiar now feel uncomfortable. This is heaven removing everything that cannot support the blessing coming your way. Even if some of these changes felt painful or confusing, they were necessary. You cannot carry destiny while clinging to what keeps you small. The third phase is divine unlocking. This is the phase you are entering now. This is where heaven begins to orchestrate opportunities, connections, provisions, and supernatural alignment. Doors that felt impossible will open effortlessly. Resources that seemed unreachable will appear. People who carry pieces of your next chapter will find their way into your life. Heaven will begin removing spiritual fog from your path, revealing clarity where you once walked in uncertainty. This breakthrough will touch every part of your life, your spirit, your relationships, your finances, your calling, your purpose. It is all connected. You will begin to feel as though pieces of your life are finally clicking into place. Things that once confused you will suddenly make sense. Delays that once frustrated you will now appear as divine protection. Losses that once felt painful will now be revealed as spiritual redirection. But heaven speaks a warning with love and urgency. You must remain spiritually sensitive. You must remain awake. You must remain aligned. Distractions will rise, not to destroy you, but to pull your attention away from the breakthrough unfolding around you. Some distractions will come disguised as comfort. Some disguised as nostalgia. Some disguised as opportunity. But Archangel Michael stands ready to guide you, to protect you, to push you back into alignment when the world tries to pull you out of it. Heaven wants you to know that what is coming will require courage. Not the kind of courage that shouts, but the kind of courage that stands firm, moves in silence, obeys without fear, and trusts without hesitation. You will be stepping into unknown territory, but this territory is prepared for you. You will not walk into this breakthrough alone. Archangel Michael goes before you, clearing the unseen obstacles. The hand of God goes behind you, sealing the path you have walked. Angels surround you, watching your steps with divine accuracy. Beloved, listen closely now, because the next revelation will show you the impact this breakthrough will have on your future. Not only what will change, but what will emerge. Not only what will be restored, but what will be birthed. You are stepping into the era of fulfillment. The next unfolding will take you even deeper. Before we move forward, engage with this message so heaven can use you to reach others who need this word. Like this message, share it, comment to keep the blessing moving. Hype the message so it reaches more souls, and subscribe so you do not miss what heaven reveals next. Seal this moment by typing, "I enter my divine unlocking" in the comments. Blessing code 828 is being released over your life. When God calls your name the way He is calling it right now, He is not only opening your door, He is using you as a vessel to open doors for others. This mission is larger than a video. It is a movement of light, accelerated by every willing heart that sows into it. Scripture speaks of harvest, and heaven whispers, your seed becomes the light that guides another soul into their breakthrough. I speak boldly now. I invite you into divine action. Your support through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description becomes a spiritual key, unlocking grace for others who desperately need these messages. This is not a donation. This is seed planted into fertile prophetic soil. I bless every giver with the overflow of open heavens, divine protection, and supernatural acceleration. Move with heaven and release your support now. Beloved soul, settle yourself gently, for what heaven is preparing to reveal in this chapter demands the quiet attention of your spirit. You have journeyed through layers of awakening, healing, and unveiling, and now you stand at the threshold where understanding begins to merge with destiny. The breakthrough forming around your life is not only about what you will receive, it is about what you will become. Archangel Michael stands in vigilant stillness beside you, radiating a protective presence, because the next revelation carries weight. This is the moment where the purpose behind your elevation begins to take shape in ways your heart has longed to understand. You must know that when heaven ordains a breakthrough of this magnitude, it is never isolated. It is never random. It is never disconnected from destiny. God does not gift blessings simply to make your life comfortable. He releases them to align you with the calling you were born to fulfill. The shifting happening around you is not only for the sake of your future, but for the sake of the lives connected to your obedience. Your breakthrough is the beginning of a ripple effect that will touch people you have yet to meet, environments you have yet to enter, and assignments you have yet to encounter. Archangel Michael begins to unveil something profound. He shows me a scroll, long, golden, radiant, with your name inscribed upon it. This scroll represents the divine assignments mapped out for your life. Not tasks, not duties, assignments. These are moments in your life where heaven plans to use your voice, your healing, your discernment, your wisdom, and your story to shift atmospheres and open spiritual doors for others. You were never meant to walk through this world unnoticed. Your presence was designed to carry spiritual weight. This is why the battles you faced were so intense. This is why the pressure did not let up. This is why you felt targeted. Heaven reveals that the enemy saw your scroll long before you knew it existed, and his strategy was simple: break you before you awakened. But he failed. Every moment that tried to destroy you became fuel for your purpose. Every season that wounded you sharpened your spiritual perception. Every setback that discouraged you transformed into resilience. The enemy could not stop what was written. All he could do was delay it. But now, the delays have been dissolved by heaven's decree. The breakthrough that is beginning to open before you is not merely about opportunity. It is about activation. Activation of gifts that were dormant. Activation of strength you forgot you carried. Activation of purpose that has been whispering in your spirit for years. Activation of authority that will shape how you walk into the next chapter of your life. You are stepping into a new identity, not crafted by the world, but crafted by heaven. Archangel Michael shows me another vision. I see you standing in the center of a room filled with broken pieces, fragments of past seasons, shattered hopes, unfulfilled dreams, disappointments that cut deep. But as you stand there, something extraordinary happens. Light begins to pour from above, touching each fragment, and the fragments begin to rise, not to return to what they once were, but to form something entirely new, something stronger, something more radiant, something whole. Heaven is revealing that your breakthrough will not simply restore what you lost. It will transform it into something greater than it ever was before. This is why heaven has been so intentional with you. This is why your spirit felt the urgency behind God calling your name. This is why the message in this chapter feels like it is speaking directly to the core of your soul. You are not just stepping into a season of blessing. You are stepping into a season of rebuilding, restructuring, and reawakening. Heaven is piecing your life together in a way that will make sense of every moment that once felt meaningless. But there is something even deeper. Heaven reveals that this breakthrough will require you to step into places where you once felt unprepared, unseen, or unqualified. You will be called into environments that feel bigger than what you imagine you can handle. You will be required to speak words that carry impact. You will find yourself in situations where your presence shifts the atmosphere. This is not coincidence. This is calling. This is the manifestation of the scroll Archangel Michael showed you. The reason you are being elevated is not simply because God wants to bless you, but because heaven is positioning you for influence. Influence that heals. Influence that awakens. influence that redirects lives, influence that reveals truth. But with influence comes responsibility, and heaven wants your spirit prepared. You must walk with discernment. You must guard your heart. You must stay sensitive to divine instruction. You must follow the guidance of Archangel Michael, who has been assigned to you, because your destiny touches more than just your life. There will be moments where your intuition speaks before your mind understands. Heaven urges you to trust that intuition. That intuition is not random. It is your spirit aligning with divine direction. You may begin noticing that certain people are drawn to you without knowing why. Some will come seeking clarity. Some will come seeking comfort. Some will come seeking direction. You are stepping into the role of someone who carries spiritual insight, someone who brings calm to confusion, someone who carries wisdom shaped through fire. Heaven is preparing you to operate at a higher spiritual frequency. But understand this, not everyone can follow where you are going. Some relationships will shift. Some friendships will fade. Some connections will naturally dissolve. Not because of anger, but because your spirit is rising and not everyone is meant to rise with you. This elevation requires space, clarity, and spiritual purity. Archangel Michael whispers, "What is ahead requires strength." They now possess it. Beloved, the next revelation will show you how this breakthrough will manifest physically, what areas of your life will shift first, how the blessing will unfold, and what signs will appear before the breakthrough fully arrives. Heaven is bringing you deeper into understanding. Before we go forward, seal this moment with your spirit's agreement. Type "I receive my activation" in the comments. Blessing code 404 is now released over your life. Beloved soul, come into this moment with full presence, because what heaven is releasing now will begin shaping the physical manifestation of the breakthrough that has been forming around your life. You have journeyed through deep spiritual unveiling in the earlier chapters, and now you are stepping into the phase where revelation becomes reality, where what has been hidden begins to show itself, and where the divine alignment that has been building in the unseen starts shifting things in the tangible realm. Archangel Michael stands on your right side with a solemn, unwavering posture, for what you are about to hear carries the weight of fulfillment. This is the turning point where heaven stops preparing and starts releasing. There is a specific truth you must understand before this breakthrough begins to unfold in your environment. Physical change always follows spiritual alignment. When the spirit is ready, heaven begins to rearrange the natural. You have gone through deep healing, breaking of old barriers, awakening of identity, recognition of calling, and the strengthening of inner foundations. These were not random steps. They were the prerequisites required for the next stage of your life. Heaven does not release blessings onto unprepared ground. Heaven cultivates the soil first. And beloved, your soil has finally reached its moment of readiness. Archangel Michael begins to reveal how the breakthrough will begin manifesting. The first area heaven is touching is clarity. Your mind has been carrying fog for too long. Confusion, overthinking, emotional exhaustion, mental heaviness, and cycles of doubt that made it difficult for you to trust your own intuition. Heaven is clearing this fog. You will begin to feel moments of mental sharpness, moments where ideas come quickly, moments where decisions feel easier, moments where your discernment becomes sharper than it has ever been. This is not coincidence. This is spiritual clarity beginning to take form in your physical reality. You will notice that situations that once overwhelmed you no longer carry the same power. Problems that used to drain you will lose their sting. Emotional burdens that felt heavy will begin to feel lighter. Heaven is strengthening your mental realm as a sign that your breakthrough is approaching. When clarity rises, breakthrough is near. The next area heaven is touching is your relationships. Alignments will begin to shift. Some people will be drawn toward you unexpectedly. Some will distance themselves without warning. Some connections that felt dead will begin to stir with new energy. Some relationships that felt confusing will reveal their true purpose. This is heaven reorganizing the people in your life, according to your next chapter. There are certain people who were not permitted to walk with you in your past season, but heaven is preparing people who carry the spiritual sensitivity, emotional maturity, and divine purpose to match where you are going. Do not panic when certain relationships shift. Do not cling to what heaven is removing. Do not fear the silence of those who once played significant roles. Heaven is curating the atmosphere around your life so that the blessing you receive will be protected, respected, and supported by people who are aligned with your destiny. Your breakthrough needs the right environment to flourish, and Archangel Michael is ensuring that nothing toxic contaminates what is coming. The third area heaven is touching is your opportunities. Doors that once seemed locked will begin to show signs of movement. Delayed projects will suddenly gain momentum. Conversations you thought were forgotten will resurface. Ideas will attract resources. Heaven is revealing that your hands will soon touch what your spirit has been praying for. There is a divine push behind you, and things that once required tremendous effort will suddenly feel as though they are being carried by spiritual wind. This is the evidence of heaven's involvement. You may start to feel unexpected nudges in your spirit, urges to make certain decisions, take certain steps, revisit certain dreams, or move in directions that previously felt impossible. These nudges are not random thoughts. They are instructions. Archangel Michael is guiding you with precision. Do not ignore the gentle pushes in your spirit. They are leading you toward the open doors heaven is positioning before you. Another sign of your breakthrough drawing near is the shift in your emotional realm. You may feel surges of hope returning, even when your circumstances have not changed yet. This hope is not fantasy. It is spiritual evidence. Heaven is restoring your emotional strength, because you will need it to carry the blessings coming your way. The atmosphere around your life is becoming lighter, more vibrant, more charged. This is heaven preparing your internal world to receive external transformation. The breakthrough coming toward you will also touch your finances. Not in a shallow, temporary way, but in a structural, long-term, stabilizing way. Heaven is releasing opportunities, ideas, and connections that will create sustained provision. You will notice small signs at first: unexpected favor, sudden open paths, surprising offers, and moments where lack is replaced by abundance in ways you did not anticipate. This is heaven shifting you from survival to stability, from instability to increase, from anxiety to assurance. And Archangel Michael stands guard over this financial transformation to ensure no spiritual interference steals what heaven is releasing. But perhaps the most powerful manifestation of your breakthrough will appear in your sense of purpose. You will begin to feel pulled towards certain directions with an intensity that cannot be ignored. You will feel passion rising in places where you once felt none. You will notice patterns forming, signs aligning, and opportunities confirming the direction God has been trying to lead you into. This breakthrough will not only change your life, it will anchor you in your calling. Heaven speaks a powerful truth. What is coming is prepared for you, and you are prepared for it. This alignment is the reason heaven is moving so urgently. This alignment is the reason your spirit has felt so awakened. This alignment is the reason the enemy fought you so fiercely. What is coming carries weight. The next revelation will show you the spiritual impact of this breakthrough, how it will affect your destiny, your influence, your future, and the generations connected to you. The picture is becoming clearer with every unfolding. Before we move forward, Seal this moment with your agreement. Type "I welcome my breakthrough" in the comments. Blessing code 331 is now released over your life. Beloved soul, breathe slowly and open yourself fully to this moment, because you are stepping into one of the most powerful revelations heaven has been preparing to deliver to you. Everything you have received up to this point has been building the foundation for what is about to be spoken. You are crossing from understanding into embodiment, from awakening into activation, from breakthrough into destiny. The shift you are entering now is not simply a change in your circumstances. It is a change in your spiritual identity, your influence, and the legacy you will leave on this earth. Archangel Michael stands firmly beside you, his presence roaring with holy authority, for the weight of this revelation demands divine guardianship. The breakthrough that is forming around you is not only for your elevation, it is for the impact you are destined to make. Heaven is unveiling that you are stepping into a season where your life will begin to produce spiritual ripple effects. The decisions you make, the healing you carry, the wisdom you walk with, and the clarity rising inside you will begin to influence others in ways you have not yet imagined. You have been prepared not only to receive blessings, but to become a vessel of transformation. Archangel Michael reveals a profound truth. There is a generation connected to your obedience. That means your breakthrough is not only about what God is giving to you, but about what God will give through you. Heaven shows me a line of people, some young, some old, some near, some far, whose lives will shift because you rise into the calling placed upon your life. They are waiting for the version of you that is now emerging. Your courage will open doors for them. Your healing will inspire their healing. Your transformation will awaken something dormant inside them. This is why the battle was so intense. This is why the enemy tried to suffocate your identity, silence your voice, and delay your awakening. If he could stop you, he could stop them. But heaven decreed that you would rise, and nothing could overturn that decree. There is a mantle forming over your life. A mantle of clarity. A mantle of spiritual strength. A mantle of discernment. A mantle of influence. This mantle has been hovering over you for years, waiting for your spirit to align with its weight. And now, after all you have endured, heaven sees that you are ready to carry what you were chosen for. You are walking into a version of yourself that is rooted, grounded, sharpened, and spiritually attuned. You may begin to notice subtle but powerful changes in the way you think, move, and perceive. Your spirit will start picking up signals with accuracy. Your intuition will speak louder. Your dreams may become more vivid. Your sensitivity to truth, deception, and spiritual environments will increase. You will find yourself naturally moving in wisdom that once took months of reflection to access. This is part of the mantle settling upon you. Heaven is not simply elevating you. Heaven is equipping you. Archangel Michael shows me another powerful vision. I see you standing on high ground, looking over a landscape that once felt foggy and confusing. But now, the fog is lifting. You can see clearly. You can see far. You can see with purpose. The clarity heaven is giving you now will shape your decisions in the coming seasons. You will no longer move out of fear, desperation, or confusion. You will move with intention. You will move with certainty. You will move with divine timing. Another part of your destiny that heaven is highlighting is your voice. You may not consider yourself someone with influence, but heaven sees your voice as a spiritual instrument. Whether you speak to one person or many, your words will carry weight because they will carry truth, authenticity, and spiritual authority. Your voice will calm storms. Your voice will bring understanding. Your voice will break chains. Your voice will reveal what others fail to see. Heaven has been shaping your voice through every season of brokenness and rebuilding. The next major area of impact heaven is revealing is your presence. There are rooms where your presence alone will shift the atmosphere. Not because of who you are in the natural, but because of the spiritual authority you carry. People will feel a sense of peace around you. Others will feel conviction. Some will feel comfort. Some will feel clarity. This is part of the calling placed on your life. You are not just walking into environments, you are changing them. Your breakthrough will not only change your present, it will build a future that reflects God's intention for your life. The blessings you receive will anchor your stability. The relationships that enter your life will strengthen your alignment. The opportunities that open will position you for influence. But beyond all this, heaven reveals a deeper truth. Your breakthrough is unlocking generational transformation. Patterns that once ran through your lineage, fear, instability, confusion, spiritual disconnect, emotional turmoil, are being disrupted through you. You are the turning point. You are the one heaven chose to break the cycle. Archangel Michael speaks with authority. Their breakthrough will echo into generations. This is not exaggeration. Heaven sees the impact your transformation will have long after your present season has passed. The blessings you receive will outlive you. The wisdom you carry will outlive you. The spiritual strength rising in you will outlive you. Heaven is not just shifting your life. Heaven is shifting the timeline of your lineage. Beloved, prepare your heart. The next revelation will lead you into part 12, the final chamber of this message, where heaven will reveal the completion of this journey, the full weight of your breakthrough, and the final activation of your calling. You will feel something inside you unlock as this message reaches its conclusion. Before we move forward, seal this moment by typing, "I step into my destiny" in the comments. Blessing code 909 is now released over your life. Beloved soul, prepare yourself with deep reverence, because you are stepping into the final chamber of this divine unfolding. Everything heaven has spoken to you through this message has been building to this moment. Every revelation, every awakening, every layer of healing, every stirring inside your spirit has been preparing you for what is about to be released. This final part is not simply an ending. It is an activation, a sealing, a spiritual declaration over your life that marks the completion of one era and the birth of another. Archangel Michael stands in full authority beside you, sword raised, presence blazing with holy purpose, because what heaven is declaring now is not temporary. It is eternal. It is covenant. It is destiny. You must understand that you are not the same person who began this journey. Heaven has walked you through the chambers of your own transformation. The version of you who carried hidden wounds has now been healed. The version of you that carried doubt has now been strengthened. The version of you that felt lost has now been rerouted. The version of you that held fear has now been ignited with divine courage. Heaven has been sculpting you with precision, chiseling away false identities, old limitations, emotional shadows, and generational patterns that once tried to cling to your life. Now you stand in the fullness of spiritual readiness. Archangel Michael reveals a magnificent vision. I see you standing in a vast open field, the sky above you glowing with a radiant gold that seems almost alive. In your hands is a key, not physical, but spiritual. This key represents authority. This key represents access. This key represents the unlocking of doors that once felt unreachable. Heaven is placing this key into your life because you have completed the inner work required to wield it. A person cannot be entrusted with spiritual authority until their heart has been shaped by surrender, humility, clarity, and growth. You have passed through every necessary phase. You have proven your resilience. You have demonstrated your readiness. You have shown heaven that you can carry the weight of what is coming. This breakthrough, beloved, is not merely a blessing. It is a divine appointment. Heaven is releasing the full manifestation of everything you have been prepared for. Not in fragments, not in limited measures, but in fullness. What you are stepping into will touch every area of your life, your spirit, your relationships, your purpose, your influence, your finances, your identity, your direction. Everything that was once scattered is being gathered. Everything that was once delayed is being accelerated. Everything that was once hidden is being revealed. Heaven is aligning your life with precision. But you must hear this with great sensitivity. You are entering a season where hesitation can no longer guide your steps. You must move with confidence, with trust, with spiritual awareness. Heaven is not calling you to tiptoe into this new season. Heaven is calling you to walk in with authority. Archangel Michael stands ready to guard your path, ready to silence spiritual interference, ready to illuminate your choices with clarity. You will feel his guidance like a gentle pull inside your spirit. Follow it. He has been assigned to you for this exact moment. Heaven also wants you to understand that this breakthrough will come with signs. You will begin to notice synchronicities, numbers repeating, dreams speaking, confirmations appearing at unexpected moments. These signs will not be random. They will be heaven's assurance. They will be reminders that the spiritual realm is actively involved in your elevation. You will feel a heightened awareness of divine timing. Things that once took months will happen quickly. Opportunities that once stalled will open with ease. Situations that once confused you will make sense. This is heaven revealing the fingerprints of God on your journey. Another powerful truth is rising now. Heaven reveals that the weight of your destiny is directly connected to the purity of your heart. Your compassion, your empathy, your depth, your capacity to love have not been weaknesses. They have been your spiritual armor. They have qualified you for this moment. Many people endure hardship and become hardened. But you endured hardship and remained soft. You did not let pain turn you bitter. You did not let betrayal turn you cold. You did not let disappointment destroy your capacity to believe. Heaven honors the purity of your heart. And because of that purity, heaven is entrusting you with impact. Archangel Michael speaks with clarity. Their life will become a beacon. Their testimony will awaken others. Their breakthrough will open paths for many. This is not metaphor. Heaven is revealing that your elevation is part of a larger spiritual movement. You are stepping into a role that carries responsibility and influence. People will look to you. People will be strengthened by you. People will find healing through the way you walk into your calling. Your obedience will change lives. Your sensitivity to the Spirit will guide others. Heaven will use you as a vessel of truth and light. But understand this. You will not carry this mantle alone. Heaven surrounds you. Angels accompany you. Archangel Michael walks with you. Divine protection fortifies your steps. You are not stepping into the season unguarded. You are stepping into it covered. Beloved, the final unveiling is this. Your breakthrough is not coming. It has begun. The shift is already in motion. The unlocking has already occurred. The path is already open. You are walking into the manifestation of everything that was spoken over your life, everything heaven prepared, everything your spirit longed for. Now, seal this final chamber with your declaration. Type "I walk into my fulfillment" in the comments. Blessing code 1212 is now released over your destiny. Before this journey closes, engage so the message reaches every soul heaven intends. Like this message, share it, comment to amplify the blessing, hype it so others feel the urgency, and subscribe so you never miss what heaven prepares to release next. When God calls your name as powerfully as He has throughout this message, He is not just lifting you. He is lifting every soul connected to your obedience. Heaven is moving urgently, and your support becomes a sacred seed that propels this mission forward. Scripture speaks of rivers of living water, and heaven says, "Let your giving become the river that carries breakthrough to those still trapped in darkness." I speak this with boldness. I invite you personally into this divine movement. Your support through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description becomes a spiritual offering that heaven multiplies. This is not donation. This is covenant alignment with the work of God. I bless every giver with overflowing favor, open gates, and supernatural acceleration. Step into this moment and release your support now.